Welcome back everyone. Time to do another comparison this time around between two phones. I'm going to raise the ISO up a little bit. Much better. These two phones are pretty much successors of one another. So the Pixel 4a it isn't really like the successor to the Pixel, the original one, but it's still really interesting to see how big of a change these two phones are from one another. So I'll be completely honest, I still love the original Pixel. I have never used this phone as like a main phone, but I do kind of talk about it a lot because I do like it. It's a really cool phone. But one of the biggest disadvantages of the original Pixel from back in 2016 was the way it looked. It did not look like the best, premium phone at the time, and it was selling for kind of a lot of money for what you were getting versus something like the Pixel 4a, which is a $350 phone. And look at the difference between them. I mean, this thing looks like it's still stuck in like 2013, where this thing looks like it's futuristic. Not really futuristic, we're kind of used to it by now. But if you had a phone like this back in 2016, that means you were a high roller, you were a big baller. And now look, a phone like this is considered a budget phone now, and it kind of is in some areas. In some areas, the Pixel beats it, but let's go and see what the main differences are. Again, if you have all the money in the world, getting the Pixel 4 is a better way to go. But the original Pixel is still a really good phone too. Now, starting off with the front, you have a 5-inch AMOLED display on the front, which is funny because this one is way bigger, and it doesn't feel like a way bigger device. This one just has so much bezel around it, which is crazy. Now with this Pixel, it's 1080p, and what I really do like about it is that the panel really isn't that bad. Like, it's a pretty good looking panel, and it's really like a pretty good feeling phone. Like, it doesn't feel like a cheap phone. Like, I don't feel like I can like break it easily. I probably could, but it doesn't feel like a cheap phone. And the panel itself looks really nice. The really big downside of this panel though is everything around it. It's, has a huge chin, has a huge forehead, and for a lot of people that could be a huge deterrent. But I can tell you, it's really not that big of a deal to me personally. Now, I was somebody who had like a Nexus 4 and phones like that, and I really don't care. I don't know why, it's just like not a big deal to me. But talking to a lot of people and just hearing what they have to say and reading a lot of forums, a lot of people do care about the way their phone looks, and that's why I always bring it up. So me personally, I really don't care that much. I would be fine with either one. But you do have a pretty good display followed by a lot of bezel around the Pixel versus something like the Pixel 4a, and it's just so weird saying just the Pixel. I'm so used to saying like Pixel 2 or Pixel 3 XL. On the Pixel 4a, we have a 5.8 1-inch OLED display. This one is also 1080p, but as you can see, like I showed you before, I mean, look at the differences in sizes. I mean, the Pixel 4a's panel does look much bigger, and it's not really that much bigger of a phone. The Pixel is actually, this one is actually a little bit wider than this one. But around this display, you're getting very little bezel, but you're also getting that hole punch display, which is really nice. So no notch, no big forehead, or no big bottom, or anything like that. The phone itself looks really nice, and that's something that I really do appreciate. Both are at 60 Hz, so one doesn't have a really big advantage over another one there. But I definitely do think in terms of the front, it's quite obvious. The Pixel 4a is definitely the better looking one for sure. In terms of the thickness right here, you can kind of see what's going on. The Pixel 4a definitely has, a little bit, they kind of seem the same thickness, though maybe the original Pixel is a little bit thicker. But I mean, I can tell you from first-hand experience, the original Pixel definitely feels way more premium than the Pixel 4a, and that is one huge advantage of this phone. You're getting a much, much better feeling phone on the original Pixel than on the Pixel 4a, and that's a really big thing to consider. You don't want to feel like you have a cheap phone, and with the original Pixel, you can pick one up for like less than like $200 easily, probably even around $100 something, which I'll leave a link down in the description below. If you want to pick it up from there, you can help support the channel at the same time. But this one definitely feels like a really premium phone. The Pixel 4a not so much. And on the back you can see single camera setups on both, and almost the same type of setup. It's just we do have that newer kind of lens type of layout on something like the Pixel 4a, where on the original Pixel it definitely has like an older type of style, but I actually kind of like this one too. It doesn't like, have a huge thing protruding out of it, but both are kind of cool in the same way, in a way. Fingerprint sensors right here, like I said. You do have the aluminum build on the original Pixel, but also a little bit of a glass type of layout on top of the original Pixel too, adding just a little bit more premiumness. The Pixel 4a does not have that type of capability, which really does suck kind of. So in terms of the outside, that really pretty much covers it up for the most part. So the Pixel 4a is definitely the better looking one, but the original Pixel is definitely the better feeling one. So hopefully that makes sense. Now in terms of the software, this is kind of interesting, kind of sad too. So they're both on Android 10, but the original Pixel is pretty much done getting supported. It's not getting any more software updates, which kind of sucks too, because I kind of like this phone. I feel like it could have handled a little bit more, but Google is really good about their software and their software updates. So this thing actually started off with Android 7.1 Nougat, and it stopped at Android 10. So I think that's a pretty good life cycle. I think it, was pretty decent. The Pixel 4a though is just now starting off, and this thing is probably going to get like 3 more versions of Android and then like a year of security updates or something. So this one, the Pixel 4a, is definitely going to outlast the original Pixel. So definitely keep that in mind, and rightfully so. I mean, they're both kind of the same family type. So it's not like, oh, it's like a Google Pixel problem. Not like that at all. Google does a really good job at their Pixel lineup for their software, and both have stock software, which is really nice too, which I really, really do like. And so the features on Android 10 are pretty much exactly the same on both of them too, which is really interesting. So in terms of software, that pretty much covers it out. Now let's go ahead and do a little bit of a speed test between them. I have some same apps on both, so we can kind of go through it. The original Pixel though had the Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 chipset, a quad-core CPU, and Adreno 530 GPU, and 4 gigs of RAM on both the models it was supported on. Where the Pixel 4a has that Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G chipset, an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 618 GPU, and 6 gigs of RAM on both models. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both of them. Okay, now that we're back, I'm going to go and clear all the apps in the background, which I think I already did. No, I didn't. So let's go and start loading them up. Let's do phone call, 3, 2, 1. 4a faster, followed by the Android, why do I say Android Pixel? Messages, 3, 2, 1. 4a, followed by this one. I don't know why I can't say just the Pixel. Play Store, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 4a is faster. Let's go and start loading through these, and I can definitely tell you the original Pixel. Actually, they both seem kind of the same, don't they? Like, one doesn't, maybe I don't know, they both kind of seem the same to me. Let's go and start loading up these third-party apps. Let's do Instagram, 3, 2, 1. 4a faster, followed by the original Pixel. Bofa, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 4a was faster, followed by the Pixel at some point. I guess I have to update it, I'm not going to deal with it. Let's do Temple Run, the original one, 3, 2, 1. Now, there may be in a game on both, so I might have to restart it. So they both were in a game, so I'll restart it. Temple Run again, 3, 2, 1. And it might look like that the 4a is faster. They both seem almost exactly the same. I think the 4a was just a little bit faster than the Pixel. Let's go and kind of get into it and see which one's faster. And they're both going to be the same. This is a minor game anyway. Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 4a was faster, followed by the original Pixel. Let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. And I don't think there's going to be that big of a difference. I think you guys will be able to tell over the camera though. And yeah, they both seem kind of the same if I'm being honest. It's kind of hard to play both games at the same time. But do Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Oh, I do have to put in this thing here, so I'll go ahead and restart this one. Fruit Ninja again, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 4a is faster. And this is the speed difference you're going to see in real world use. If you load up one game, this is how big of a difference it's going to be. So that one was really interesting. Let's go do Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. I just hit the camera there too, my bad. And again, the 4a is faster, and look how big of a difference there is for these type of games. Again, this phone came out in 2016. That was the flagship at that time. Look how this one is comparing. This is a budget phone. That's pretty crazy, the differences between these two. And that's no knock to the original Pixel, like I said before. I appreciate both phones, but Google did something right with the performance on the Pixel 4a. Like, even though it's that 730G and it's that like budget chipset, they did Snapdragon. Qualcomm did a pretty good job at that specific chipset too. Netflix, 3, 2, 1. And 4a is faster, followed by the Pixel at some point. I think it froze or something. Okay, I don't know what happened. We'll go and end it off with Real Racing 3. 3, 2, 1. And I don't know if we're going to have to download something on the original Pixel. If we do, then I'll just cut it there because it's quite obvious to see which one is the faster one in pretty much all tests. And I do have to download it there. So we'll just kind of let this one breathe. I'll definitely tell you for sure the Pixel 4a is the faster one in every single way. The original Pixel, great phone. I think it's still pretty good. But definitely when it comes down to it, the Pixel 4a is the faster one in every single test. Now let's go and end it off with the camera, or we have like 2 more tests too. So they both have single camera setups on the back. The original Pixel has a 12.3 megapixel lens, where the Pixel 4a has a 12.2 megapixel lens. So I don't know why they changed that 0.1 megapixel. I don't know what that's going to do with them. And both of them are more similar than not, like I've stated before. The original Pixel can take really good photos. They both can do 4K at 30, no 4K at 60 on both, which kind of sucks a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But still really good for the most part. Now with the original Pixel, you're getting really good photos still, but I do think the Pixel 4a is probably the better way to go. and I think it has a lot to do with the optimizations in the software. The Pixel 4 did really good, the Pixel 3 has done really good too, and with this original Pixel, they really stepped up their camera game, but I still think the Pixel 4a is probably the better way to go in terms of the back camera, and I would say the exact same thing for the front camera as well. The Pixel 4a and the Pixel have 8 megapixel sensors on the front. Both can do 1080p, but still, I would still probably give the edge to the Pixel 4a actually. Now ending it off with the battery life, the original Pixel had a 2,770 mAh battery. The Pixel 4a has a 3,140 mAh battery. And in terms of this, I would still give the edge to the original Pixel. Both of these do not have wireless charging, so if one had wireless charging, I would probably give that one a little bit of an edge too, but not in this case. The Pixel 4a does have the better battery life because, it has the bigger battery and it's just more optimized at the end of the day. So what I can definitely tell you is that the Pixel 4a is the better way to go in every single direction. This phone is the better phone in pretty much every single way, maybe besides build quality. The original Pixel did feel kind of good. Even the original Pixel didn't feel like the best phone at the time. But compared to something like the Pixel 4a, it definitely feels better. So I'll give the edge to the original Pixel in that sense. But literally like every single other way, the Pixel 4a is the better phone as I just demonstrated here. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys want to pick up either of these phones once they're out, once this one's out, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section as well. Hit the like button on me so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so me so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More important than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.